Hey, thanks for coming back, or if it's your first time here, thanks for checking out this video. In my last video, I talked about the Fujifilm 90mm f2, and I kind of talked about how I did not like that lens. I had anticipated doing a POV style street photography thing, but we all saw that that didn't work out. In this video, we're going to the opposite side of the spectrum. I picked up the Fujifilm 16mm f2.8, and I went around Austin doing some street photography, and I actually got some POV footage this time, which is great. And we'll get to that in a second, but first I kind of want to talk about my thoughts on this lens and why I decided to pick it up. So this lens I actually bought, I didn't rent, and the reason for that is twofold. First, it's a staple lens. I mean, 16mm, it's just one of those focal lengths that you kind of want in your kit. You're not going to use it every day, but when you do need it, you definitely need it. And the second reason is Leica Q. You see, for a brief second, I was looking at the Leica Q2s and I was considering buying one, but then I looked at my bank account and realized that I'll probably never actually own that camera. But the thing about the Leica Q system is that it's a 24mm fixed lens camera, and I wasn't 100% sure if I liked that 24mm because I've never actually shot at it. And so I decided to pick up the 16mm just to kind of test it. You know, in case someday in the future I am able to buy a Leica Q camera, and I decide that, hey, I do like the 24mm. So you might be wondering why I decided to get the f2.8 over the f1.4 or 1.8 or whatever it is. Truthfully, I actually bought both lenses. I liked the f1.4 just because it had that clutch system that could engage a manual focus system. I thought that that was really great. But when I got that lens, I realized how big it is. And I don't like having that big of a lens on my kit. I like my kit to be light and nimble, and having a lens that big wasn't gonna work for me. And when I really thought about it, f1.4 is not really an aperture that I need for the style of photography that I do. My 35mm lens goes down to f2, and that's perfectly fine with me. Honestly, I'm either shooting between f2 or f5.6 anyway. F2.8, it's fine. I wish it was f2, but again, for what it is, it's fantastic. It's lighter, it's a hell of a lot cheaper. So yeah, I actually do prefer this lens over the other one just because of the size and what I'm actually going to use it for. So what do I actually think of this lens? I think it's great. Fujifilm makes great lenses. This class of lens or whatever it is, where they got the 16, the 23, the 35, and the 50. I think that those are all great lenses. They're very well made. They're compact, but they still have a good aperture. Sharpness is great. Filter threads, I kind of wish they were all a standard filter thread size, but other than that, love this lens. Don't love the focal length. It was definitely difficult for me to get used to shooting at this focal length. I talked about it later on in the video, but you know, my complaint with the 90mm was it was too much subject isolation, so I wasn't really able to tell a great story. 16mm is kind of the opposite problem. You can't get enough subject isolation, and so the story that you're trying to tell is much harder to get because there's so much in the frame. And so I found myself being a little more aggressive with my camera, which is not something that I'm used to and not a style that I particularly like when I see other people doing it. But as you'll see later on in the video, there's kind of two different styles of photos that are being taken. One is just kind of right in people's faces, and the other one is from the hip at an upward angle, which I realize now is a sign of a cowardly photographer, but you know, I was just getting used to it, and I didn't want to just start off by shoving my camera in people's faces. Luckily, South by Southwest was going on, and so there were just throngs of people everywhere, and they were all coming and going, so they didn't really care or seem to notice when I stuck my camera in their face as I was walking by, which is good. You know, obviously, being a street photographer, I don't want to cause a commotion or anything. I don't even want my subjects to know that I'm taking their photo, but at this focal length, it's hard not to have them know that you're taking their photo. So kind of had to deal with that a little bit, but again, luckily, because it was South by Southwest and there were so many people around, nobody really seemed to notice or care. Moving forward, just doing day-to-day stuff, I'm kind of hoping that if there's less people on the streets, I'll be able to isolate my subjects a little more just within the scene because there's not distracting subjects also. So we'll have to see about that when South by's over. Yeah, it's a great lens. I just need to get used to it. And let's roll the intro sequence and then check out the POV stuff. Just going to set my exposure manually so I don't miss any shots. Looks good. Let's see if we need a photo of this guy. So I'm really not used to shooting on this wide of an angle, and I feel like to get close enough to people to actually capture them, you have to shoot from the hip a lot. I don't want to bother people that much. These are boring photos. But always got to photograph the star. It's supposed to be South by Southwest this week, but not a lot of activity other than traffic of people trying to leave downtown and get the hell out of here, which I don't blame them for it. I barely even want to be here, but I'm hoping that there's some extra activity going on, which looks like on Converse there might be, so we'll head there and see what we can get. Nothing like a guy just walking his ferret downtown, I guess. Bunch of shots from the hip there. Actually, that one's not bad. Snap the guard down. Alright, we're gonna get more bold and start sticking the camera in people's faces. This is nuts. Oh.
Thank you. Go back to us. Thank you. Yeah, you really miss it. You feel like
there's so much going on, but there's also not a whole lot going on. And I feel like with this 16 mil, it's hard to, I mean, I know I complained in my last video about isolating subjects too much, but this is like, you can't isolate subjects at all. So creating a meaningful image at this wide, it's tough because you capture a lot in each scene. So there's that fine balance between capturing way too much and capturing not enough. I think the 90 mil was not enough, and the 16 might be too much. And maybe I just need to slow down a little more and wait for scenes instead of constantly moving. I'm constantly on the go right now, so I'm not really waiting for a scene to appear. If it's not there in front of me, I just keep moving. So it's different from what I'm used to, you know, which isn't a bad thing. I wanted to jump in here because I actually had an issue with that photo. I wasn't sure if I should make it black and white or color. So here's a black and white, and here's the color. You guys let me know down in the comments which one you like more. All right, back to the video. I had to go back for that one. The guy working on the building up there, and I definitely want to get his photo. With the scale of the buildings, could be pretty neat. I want to get across the street so I can get closer. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm gonna shoot these guys from the hip.
Like you can see, much better. Sure. I mean, this is part of foreplay.
Or hip shot, I'll take it. This is crazy.
I know that. I would have put it there and he would have actually did it. That's okay, I got the book.
I do not understand what any of this is. I don't leave the house enough. See, this is an example of too much stuff. It'd be a really good shot if I could get it, but I don't think I can. Not at this photo length. All right, I think I'm done. It's hot. People are crazy down here. And I'm hungry. It's pie day. Having pizza for dinner. Pretty stoked. So that's all I've got for this video. I'll probably continue to do these POV videos just because I enjoy making them. I'm going out and taking photos anyway, so I might as well do a POV. And personally, it's kind of the videos that I enjoy watching on YouTube anyway, so might as well make what I actually enjoy watching. I think the next one will probably be 35mm, and then after that 50mm, trying to move up the ranks of focal length. I think that could be interesting just to see what the different styles that I'm getting at the different focal lengths would be. So if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. And yeah, that's all I've got. I hope this video was informative, if not entertaining. And as always, thanks for watching, happy shooting, and I'll see you next time.